Hello there everyone, this is Mark3 and welcome back to the red soils of Mars, where we are slowly but surely taking over in the name of the machine gods. Yes, the cult mechanicus shall rise. Yes. All hail the Omnissiah, aka me. Yes. Welcome back. It's been a few months since the end of the last part, and as you can see, we got the polymer factory up. We've just completed the chemical plant, which looks like it should be some kind of high-tech citadel or bastion or some kind, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, look at that thing, it's built like a castle. Well, the factory looks like a factory. Kind of. Some of the design aesthetics are a little odd, but I admit they are cool and they do look otherworldly for the most part, so, you know, I can't fault them for that. I mean, look at this steel foundry. It's all cool and red and glowy, and it's like, yes, I do like these things. But anyway, yes, we've got the chemical plant, we've got the polymer factory. This is what we needed because our priority is now very much to get maintenance started up. And maintenance, well, you need polymers to build it and polymers to run it, which is why I was waiting on the chemical plant and the polymer factory. Let's get the maintenance mode up. So everything is slowly degrading. Everything's bright green right now, but it's slowly getting worse. As it gets worse, it gets less efficient, it makes less power, it makes things more slowly. You know, that kind of thing. But a maintenance hub, as you can see, it's got a fixed radius where it can operate. And right now, I think I'll just put it in the middle of my spread, just north of these craters here. I mean, that's a nice convenient position, so I'll pop it right there. And that way, this can maintain any of our existing structures. So, we'll be fine with that. We just have to let people do this. We'll, again, prioritize. One thing I forgot to mention about priority, actually, is if things are stashed in a storage, then, as you would expect, it will be drawn towards a priority structure, of course. But it can also draw from things like input queues on structures, like if this parts factory had some steel put into it, and the parts factory was not prioritized, but something was prioritized that needed that steel, then it would actually pull from the input, as long as it was not actively... Well, once it actively starts producing, it takes it out of the input anyway, but if it was left there, it would be pulled away to somewhere else. Same with a building project. If a building is gathering resources and it's got materials waiting to be used for construction, it will also pull towards a priority site or a priority task. So prioritization can be very useful. It can, if you've got it lying around somewhere, then you know you can use it if you really need to. It's quite useful. Though that is one of the other bug reports actually that I've come across. That later on in the game, prioritization actually breaks a bit. I don't know, maybe it's like a question of scale or something. But it runs into trouble later on. Personally though, even though I've only really done early game stuff, I've never seen anything break on my end. And I know that some of the patches have addressed that, I think, or done something to try and help with it. And funnily enough, one of the recommended things, like if a structure is not working properly, then try turning it off and on again. Because they've all got an off and on switch. It's classic tech support. The building's not working. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Oh, I forgot about the power needs. Okay, so that actually overtaxed my power grid already. I'm going to need more power anyway. It's fine, it only shut down the glass kiln. I've got 20 glass in stock, so that doesn't matter. But that's one of the early game tips, actually. I saw that in a guide which said, I think it was like 10 things I wish I'd known when I first started playing Aspera. And that's the fact you can turn stuff off if you don't need it immediately. Which is... Honestly, you'd be surprised how often people miss that. But yes, I'm fine with that not functioning at the moment, but I am going to need more power, so I'm just going to build more power, because my current task is to build an areological scanner. Words. Areological scanners, they do not consume. Oh, here we go. That, my dear watchers, is a repair drone. And it is buzzing around just fixing stuff. The maintenance facility makes repair drones out of polymer and a bit of electronics. And I think they produce 3 every time they cycle. And repair drones that are not active, that are actively in use, just like hover around the maintenance facility. But when the structure needs it, a repair drone flies out and starts expending its cargo to do on-site maintenance and repair them. It's not like they're not single use. A repair drone has a certain amount of repairing it can do, and then it disappears. Like we saw one disappear just a second ago above the landing site, if you were watching close enough to spot that. But they can repair multiple structures, like on casual maintenance. If there's more extensive repairs, then yeah, you might need multiple repair drones on one building. But you know, they're very useful little things. And if we look, as you can see, some buildings were degrading already down to yellow warning zone. So, you know, it was about time I was getting that maintenance structure going. Also, I'll turn it off, so not prioritised. And just as long as they've got repair drones, I won't care too much. Anyway, sorry, areological scanner. We have a new filter unlocked called the scanner. When you drop a landing site, it auto scans a general area around it, but it doesn't actually scan beyond that. The areological scanner is an automatic scanning system, which will, when built, automatically reveal a 5-tile grid, as you can see around it. The blue grid, I don't know what that is, if I'm going to be entirely honest, because I've never seen anything happen with it. I think it might just be like a priority scan this area kind of thing. But an areological scanner will scan like way across the planet if it needs to. It goes a long way, and it'll just keep on scanning. So think of it like a radar from Factorio, except that it doesn't care about how far away stuff is. Because a Factorio radar stops at a certain distance. These scanners, as far as I know, don't. But I've not seen them scanning across the planet. They're useful to have, though. Anyway, aerial scanner. I wanted to put it down. If I move out, there's some warnings. As you see now it's too far away. It's outside my maintenance bubble, so it warns you. And it warns me there's no power connection where I want to build it there as well. So it's too far away from any power connections. But I'm just going to build it like, I think it's generally better to try and build stuff on sectors you've scanned. But if I build it like there, I'll reveal more sectors straight away. So I'll put it there. Ta-da! That thing is still not built. Prioritise you. Get that thing built, please, people. Just do it. The problem is, because I'm on Aspera mode, these things cost 11 electronics to place. It is very costly. No power, no maintenance. Let's drop one. I want it to be within maintenance reach. Honestly, that's the thing I'm looking for. You know, I should probably just check the maintenance reach, shouldn't I? It ends somewhere around there. But yeah, I can't quite get the same. I can't quite pull the same trick of revealing as many tiles at once. If I build it there, it's complaining about power, but it's not complaining about maintenance. Let's build it there then. And I will also tell it to build a power station out there as well to provide a link for the power supply. There we go. You're still waiting on electronics. Also, get electronics working, please. You guys are being slackers. And I'll build a final areological thing down here. Out of maintenance. There we go. Right. So, I've got 3 of these queued up because very useful. And generally, you'll appreciate it later on in this game. More scanners early is great for helping to track resources, but you want to be building your structures and your colony out into areas you've already scanned. Why? because then you don't accidentally build it on top of a resource node. I mean, this one and this one are a little bit outside my area. I'll prioritize that. So they might wind up on top of a resource node. I hope they don't. But if they do, then buildings overlap a bit. So there's not much you can do. Not much you can do at all. But I've just got to wait for the electronics to get built, which requires aluminium. In all honesty, I was slightly unlucky with my initial resource zone, because half the time your initial scan area comes with an extra deposit of aluminium, which lets you put down a second mine, which can be a huge help, actually. Getting more mines is an excellent thing to try and do. So I guess while it's trying to sort all that out, I will go ahead and explain a few bits and pieces. So, whoops, there was a meteor. Yes, you do get meteors coming sometimes until you get an atmosphere. The game tells you that later, but yeah. These little eye things are marked things on the planet. So, as you can see, this is the Perseverance rover. This one is a T-Rex lander, carried a terahertz sensor to the surface of Mars to measure oxygen isotope ratios of atmospheric molecules. Yes. So there's odd little things like, and this is an abandoned robotic base. Marcy was the first entirely robotic research base. Oops, hang on, I've got a phone call.
Amy, Houston, how's it going over there?
Houston, I am getting interference. Please repeat.
Roger, I asked how it's going over there. Do you need any assistance?
Sure. Guide me, O wise human, who I, for some reason, trust implicitly.
I could use some help. I understand that the first colonists will need a spaceport for arrival, but I do not seem to have enough resources to build one yet.
It's okay. Bigger structures need more resources. Use the aerological scanner to detect new veins and build more mines. Also, remember to keep the power supply consistent to your needs. But if you're too impatient to finish the spaceport, then you can scrap other buildings and reuse their materials. Patience is a virtue you may need to carry this mission, Amy. Besides, the free time will give you the chance to enhance your thinking process. Continue following ISA's instructions and you'll be fine.
Okay, I will caution against his advice there. Like, he says if you're impatient, then you can scrap other structures. That is true, but remember, on high difficulty you get reduced return. So it really is far better, if possible, not to scrap your structures unless you really want to. So, sure, I could scrap stuff and get enough materials for a spaceport, but if I cripple myself, then what's the point? So I'm going to let things keep running as they are and keep getting the extra aerological scanners running. I really hope that I get my grubby little hands on an extra aluminium deposit. I need more metal. I really do. However, that happened because this aerological scanner here has been fixed. It looks all nice and sciencey, doesn't it? But as you can see, it's also revealed the 5 tiles, and now it's starting to scan around it. And every time it cycles, it reveals a new terrain tile. And it'll just keep on going. So, yeah, I'm just going to let it do that and keep feeding it power. But yeah, sorry, yes, what I was doing. Abandoned robotic base. Here we go. First robotic base, required to gradually maintain and repair the units, but all research work was conducted by robots. They studied the corrosive effects of Martian dust on their own robotic circuits. It was basically a suicide mission. I'm glad I wasn't on that one. Thanks to their sacrifice, we learned how to create better robots and drones. So, yes. As you can see... Oh, that's a Beagle 2 lander. Lander component for Mars Express mission. Its goal was to look for signs of past life on surface of Mars. However, contact was never established with the lander after it landed. So this is where it crashed, basically. But yeah, there's some of these are real life stuff, some of them are future stuff. So there's little points of interest around the place. And they are good to reach because they let you establish a little research outposts on them. And research outposts make research more efficient, so you do kind of want to try and get those. Well, there's the Infinity Lander. That carried the 2 first astronauts to set foot on the Red Planet. They collected surface samples before returning to their orbital station, where a 3rd member of the crew was monitoring the mission. So, yes, that's the first manned mission to Mars, just there. Hey, Dr. Foster.
Oh, I forgot to mention. We've announced the names of the first colonists that will be joining you on Mars. The crew was selected from different nations within the Oxy-UN, though most are scientists and technicians. They're already undergoing ISA's colonist training program as we speak. They'll be led by Dr. Elia Valentine. She'll be a great commander. The colonists elected her unanimously.
So, yeah, the human mission is going to have a human commander. So I can ask about the background or the duties. Like, ask about her, ask about the duties. It's like, will I be subordinate to her? Or stuff like that, you know? Kind of important.
That is interesting. Since Oxy-UN did not appoint a leader, I wondered why the colonies will operate in the opposite way.
Oh, you're referring to the Act of Proclamation. You're right. All the participating nations and the United Nations of the West work together as an alliance. But the Mars colonies are fragile microcosms. You and Dr. Valentine will decide what's best in the day-to-day operations. You'll balance each other out, as well as enhance each other's strengths.
Okay. So, balance each other out, enhance each other's strengths. I'm an AI, I don't know anything about this, so I can ask about the balance, or I can ask about strengths. So what is balance?
How will we balance each other?
Your technology will develop alongside the colonies. They can't survive without your help, nor can you advance without theirs. It's a symbiotic relationship by design.
Does that mean I'll have to obey their orders?
No. You have your own autonomy too. No one owns you. Well, I mean, technically you belong to ISA, but you're your own person or machine. You're a machine person, I guess.
Machine person?
Or person machine? Machine being? I don't know. You can coin a new term once you settle on who you are.
I think I would like that, Dr. Foster.
Deal? Great. You keep up the good work, and we'll talk again later. Mission control out.
So as you can see, it's like, that's one of the things about Amy. We are new territory, new ground in AI design. He was one of our designers and creators, but as you can see, even he doesn't have the answers about us. Because he's setting up the situation where we can evolve into something else. We are evolving, we are going to grow, we're going to develop. We're going to see what happens, basically. And that's one of the themes of the story. What is our AI going to become? I have no idea. I have deliberately not been playing that far ahead while I was deciding if I was going to play this for a series or not. And that's why I was reading through the stuff on these interest sites over here as well. It's like I've been deliberately avoiding doing that too, just because, you know, kind of want to save it for actual thing, like Old Fuel Refinery. The crew of Sard Nashira was 6 male subjects, all miners and retired engineers. The objective was to establish the first spaceport and propellant production plant capable of supplying fuel to spaceships. The project was highly profitable for several years until the ability to produce in-situ propellant became a regular feature in space missions. So yes, that is an old fuel refinery. So an old capitalist venture which worked for a while until technology made it redundant. What's that? An abandoned Martian resort? Space Genetics, a division of Genetics Corporation, a genetic engineering company and AI developer, was the first company to successfully establish a tourist settlement on Mars. As you see, it's abandoned, so it's like, you know, there's a lot of problems going on. Ugh. Right, so anyway, we got our quest list over here, of course. We got our last areological scanner in the works. I'm not sure where our electronics going. Actually, how's our maintenance going? Really badly, actually. So maintenance needs to prioritize. It is aluminium. Oh no, it's silicon we're short of now. At the moment, at least. I need more minerals, flat out. I've not been getting them, though. I mean, I've got more carbon, and I've got a lot of water nearby. But I haven't uncovered anything else just yet. So I'm going to have to try and keep going and try to get things operational. Like, that's relying on the silicon mine, which is here. Problem is, the silicon mine is actually degrading hard, so it's like, it's starting to crash a bit. I have to be careful of that. Aluminium deposit. Yes.
Dr. Foster called me a machine person, but I don't think I qualify as a person at any level. If I can only do what ISA allows me to do, what does that make me? Merely a machine? An object? Am I their property? The areological scanner detected an uncharted structure close by. It's probably a secret abandoned base, or a mysterious Martian ruin. Though humans never found proof of life on Mars or any other planet, is it possible they have the entire cosmos to themselves?
Logically, no. We've not seen any signs ourselves, but logically, we can't be the only ones.
I highly doubt that's the case. Statistically speaking, there are too many locations where life can flourish aside from Earth. There may even be a civilization more technologically advanced than humans. And I may not be the most intelligent consciousness in the universe. No, it must be an unmapped structure from a previous mission. That is the easiest explanation. I will investigate it to confirm.
Yeah, so that is a story mission thing. Unknown abandoned facility, so it's like something we don't know about. As you see, directive, new discovered colony. Build a research outpost on the location, populate the outpost, and complete the research. And as I said, like, they give bonuses to research, so, which is nice. There was a bug, actually, which was fixed literally right before I started recording, with update 3, which is, these only provided the research bonus when the research facility was full. Now it's supposed to like provide a scaling bonus depending on how many people were working in the research facility, which is good. I wasn't sure why I was sometimes getting a bonus from it and sometimes wasn't in my testing games, so it's good to know about. Anyway, I think I'll deprioritize that areological scanner. I prioritize these buildings to draw maintenance drones to them, so I'll deprioritize that as well. Maintenance facility, I was prioritizing getting the electronics and things supplied to rebuild drones on it. The electronics factory still needs priority. What I'm gonna do is, I want that aluminium. I crave that aluminium. It will be mine. Which means I need to connect to it. Which means I'll need to expand my worker supply. Which means, as you can see, I'm going out into no power, no maintenance areas. So it's like, yeah. I'm going out into the boonies over here. It's like it's really far away. And I'm gonna try and connect to. I want to connect to that worker hub, if I can. Let's pop it like I guess there. The problem is the solar panel actually gets in the way a bit, so I'm struggling to get a direct connection. It'll be fine though. I'll just pop it like. I'll need one there because of the water mines being so close to it, so that's fine too. Then I'll get another worker hub and I'll pop it right in the middle there. So I'm starting to expand my domain a bit. One thing to bear in mind though, I've only got 27 structure limit. Sorry, 27 out of 50. So right now I can only build 50 structures. And I think I'd rather have the material rather than the. Yeah, so I'll prioritize these hubs. Well, at very least those two hubs. That hub is not as important, so I'll leave that one be. It's going to be useful. I'll stop building on it though.
Unfortunately, my workers cannot explore buildings. I will need to make use of the humans for this task. I should finish getting the initial base ready for the colonists first. Though I can build a research outpost here to prepare. That will give the scientists a place to stay while they analyze the structure. Once they get to Mars, of course.
So yeah, as you can see, I can send drones in to examine the buildings, but I struggle to interpret it, so for that I need the flashbacks. The humans will have to do that for me. And I'm going to get all this area built up. I'll have to let it degrade a bit though, I must admit. Well, that's why I'm pulling stuff out of here to try and get it done. I want this area before I get that scanner going. Unfortunately. Come on. Okay, that's up, but it's not powered. which means the drones are coming from this one here, actually to go all the way out there. Look what that's doing to my drone traffic list. It's like... it's a massive distance it's going, so it's
But
going
I
to
can
cause
make
trouble.
decisions. I can freely choose what to do. Objects are owned. They don't get to choose. So I must be something else. I have my own will.
Yeah, see, so the AI is making choices, it's thinking about things. I am slowly building up electronics in the scanner over there. But things are getting hauled over this way as fast as this single drone can make the hundreds of kilometers trek. So this is actually a really big distance. Structures are actually placed a large distance apart in this game. As you can tell, because I'm playing across the entire planet, basically. There goes another one. Gonna cancel that for the moment because I want that power supply up.
I am the one who controls the fate of Mars. The planet's surface has already changed as a result of my decisions. Is that enough to prove that I have will?
It is a contradiction, I think. Let's point that out.
No. Look at all these craters. Meteors created them. Merely changing the planet's surface isn't evidence of having will. I have to come up with different proof.
It's a fair point, though, isn't it? Right, so one thing I could do to make things more efficient is have the maintenance hub within reach of another hub. It just helps them more efficiently share the load, but as you can see, there is actually a maintenance connection going on here, so they can help each other out if there's drones in stock. So I could just place one out here, and maybe I will, just to facilitate reaching out further. I don't exactly need the overlap right now, so I'll just go ahead and install it, I think, up here. Sure, I'll just pop it there. That'll do. That'll do. Plus, it guides me towards these points of interest up here as well, so that's a good thing. Oh, right, I forgot to mention why that's a good thing. Well, in part. Yes, these are research points. Yes, they help you research things more efficiently. However, I would also like to point out that these things are actually temporary. These ones especially. There's a bunch up here, which there's an old Russian station up here. Russian mission originally planned to reach the Red Planet the year prior, but the launch was delayed after a drop in foreign investment. Due to the delay, they were no longer the first extensively manned mission on the surface of Mars. They arrived 3 months after the Zhu-Q mission. Chinese, maybe. Right, I mentioned this because this is actually a flood area. And if we try and build something out here, we've got a new warning, flood zone. So as we terraform the planet, we're actually going to lose access to the bonuses in these areas. So I can make use of them early on to boost my technology development, but later on this entire area will have to be evacuated because it's going to go underwater. So, you know, things like that. Ooh, more iron. Excellent. Still no more silicon. But I did get that extra aluminium though, so that is great. That's a worthy addition, that. And my drones are slowly working on the maintenance facility over there. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted, and I am 30 out of 50, so I do need to try and get creation of the human habitation sorted out before I hit my 50 limit. So, let us begin. Mines. We need water, first off, so I'll pop one right there. Relay those lines. Water will be supplied. Water plus chemicals go into a food factory to make basic food.
I keep thinking about that abandoned colony. We are not the first mission to Mars, not by far. What if there are other AIs out there, racing to terraform Mars first?
It's a valid thought. I mean, there's been robots things, but it's like it's possible there's other AIs out there.
It is entirely possible. No, if another AI was present, I would have detected it already.
Kind of? Well, you might have detected it if it was a satellite-based one, but if it's a ground-based one, maybe not. Who knows? But anyway, water plus the chemicals which are being mined down here go into food. So that's one of the key elements here. as you can see, that was a directive finished. What I need next is some kind of place for the humans to be and a way for them to get here. So that would be the spaceport, the expensive thing mentioned earlier, and a colony site. And these things count as small colonies as well, so they house 50 people. But flat out bigger colonies, they don't give the extra bonus of a research site, but they can house a lot more. So, yeah. That's as you go. But unfortunately, I'm out of time, though, so we're going to have to call it there. We'll try and get our first humans onto Mars in the next episode. So, I'll let my base run a little bit and stockpile a bit more. Also, I'll build you. Yes. This has been iMark3. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. And I'll catch you all some other time. Ooh, more chemicals. Excellent. Yes.
Then again, I did not know about the abandoned structure until recently. Could my knowledge be incomplete? It is reasonable to assume there are Mars missions from other organizations that ISA does not know about. Maybe this planet is not completely deserted.
Entirely reasonable. But yeah, with that said, see you all later. As I start preparing to move out this way.